I hope you guys enjoyed those clips showcasing you how this build performs in PvP, of course, and that was conflict, by the way. There's a lot of things that are going to be different between conflict and DZ, but we're going to go over it. Not too much of build-wise, but, let's get into it. So, the reason we're using the Firewall specialization, why? Because it also gives you 20% burn duration. Since we're using Firewall, we got a flamethrower, and when you get the specialization ammo, you can set people on fire, which can change the dynamic of the match. If you're down by 6 or 8, you probably can bring your team back into the game. Now, that's why we're utilizing this. And that 20% burn duration is very, very important to have, man. Because when they crit orange, stop firing your flamethrower. They're going to die unless they got on hazard protection, of course. Now, you also get an armor kit. Your armor recovers 200%. And your health, 200% over 10 seconds. So if somebody tries to push you, you can pop a kit really quickly and survive that engagement. Or you can push them and take over that fight and win that 1v1 or 2v1, depending on the situation, of course, that you're in. Now, I'm going to tell you the things that we combine this with. We're utilizing the Iron Lung. Why? Because the Iron Lung is a great weapon to utilize in PvP, of course. Having an ability to set enemies on fire just by shooting your weapon is insane, and there's nothing they can do about it unless they have on hazard, of course. They have to have, I believe, 90 to 95 or 96% burn resistance so they don't catch fire. But the damage that you're going to be dishing out with this combo is insane, bro. So shooting heats up the weapon, filling up heat meter. So you're filling up a heat meter. The meter is equivalent to 50% of the weapon standard magazine size. So there's 85 bullets within this. By the time you get to probably let's say 70, that meter should be filled up and your target should be on fire. Now, it also says here at the bottom, when the meter is full, round shot by the weapon, ignite enemies. Of course, we already know that. When not shooting, the meter depletes over time. Reloading or swapping the weapon fully depletes the meter. So you got to be careful of what you're going to when you're in the engagement of battle, of course, right? Reload when you need to. It's very important to time it and watch that meter bar when you're using this weapon, because that's going to be the difference between who's going to be on fire and you building up that meter to catch them on fire. And it loads up pretty quickly, just to let you know. Now, your secondary weapon can be any particular weapon of your choice. It does not matter. I know my expertise on my weapons are 30 expertise, but don't worry about that. You lose expertise inside of conflict. There is no expertise. There is no modifiers. There is no shade watch. None of that stuff is within the conflict, so it does not matter. You can go in there with zero expertise and still compete, as long as you got the right build setup, of course. And this is why we're here to help you guys. Now, for our mask, we're using an exotic mask called the Catharsis. We're going to sum this up. The more damage you take, the more damage you're going to dish out. And once that purge bar, that meter bar fills up with the Catharsis, it's going to drop a healing cloud at your feet, which is going to heal you. Now, personally, I like using this with Survivalists, but it's still good with Firewall. The reason I like using with Survivalists is because with Survivalists, you get 15% outgoing healing, which helps you heal up quicker, of course. But none of that matters. It still works the exact same. Here, you still able to heal up pretty quickly, pop your kits, and continue to fight. So, a great combination to combine in any PvP build. Now, for our backpack choice here. Now, we're using the Langmo backpack here. We got 3 pieces of Langmo. So, I advise you guys to run this setup how I have it, man. Now, as you guys can see, I wish I had a crit chance here, of course, but unfortunately, we have not got lucky to find another with crit chance. But if you do got one with crit chance, this is the combination that you want. You want it to be armor, crit chance, and status effect. And I'm going to tell you why. Combining status effect allows you to increase your burn duration on that target, which is why it's very important to make sure you guys have status effect on all your gear pieces when building this. Let's shoot this target here. We're going to set him on fire. So you can see the crits are pretty good. Now he's on fire. He's ticking for 49. Do you see that? They're on fire. The amount of people that I have killed, especially those pesky Umbra guys that are running around here, or those glass cannon guys, or those skill bills guys, when you set them on fire, they will die. And we combine that with Wicked. So having status effect everywhere on my gear and combining that with Wicked, do not mind the armor on kill mod, because your mods can be any preference of your choice. I went for armor on kill, of course, because like I said, this is not a crit based build, But the armor on kill definitely does help me out a lot in situations. People look at it like, why you got armor on kill? Because when I'm killing people, bro, and they're set on fire, I get armor back, which is why I got that armor on kill, man. So having that 10% status effect will increase your burn duration on that target. It's very important. Combining that Iron Lung with the Wicked talent, applying a status effect increases total weapon damage by 18%. Now, so we just increase our weapon damage just by setting people on fire, and that's going to last for 20 seconds. So every time I set somebody on fire, that talent is going to stay active. That's even if I drop my Stinger Hive on them, Wicked is going to proc. I love Wicked when it comes to running hybrid status builds. It's very important to have this, especially when you got the damage to dish out at the exact same time. We're using the contractor gloves here. This is best in slot. We're getting 10% LMG damage here, of course. And by having on the contracted gloves, we have 8% damage to armor. So we're also applying that extra damage that we need to that player. Do you see the synergy that we're doing with this build here? The more damage we take, the more damage we're going to dish out, which is giving us an additional 18% damage. We're shooting our target with the Iron Lung. They cannot do anything because they're set on fire. Wicked's proc. We're getting an 8% damage to armor. Status effect on the contractor gloves, as you guys can see. We're also getting here with the Lingmo set, we're getting explosive resistance, of course, 20%, which is really not important, but it helps in situations. 20% skill health, which goes towards my Hive and my Defender drone. And we're getting an additional 30% LMG damage. This is the setup that we have here. Now, remember what I said. We have 6% crit chance here. That's what I wanted in my backpack. If you get lucky, crit chance and status effect. Now, for knee pads, as you got, these are the rows. We got armor, crit chance, status effect. For my holster, the exact same thing. Armor, you want crit chance and status effect. Now, for my chest plate, we're utilizing the Bellstone Armor, which is the everyday carrier. Now, this is the setup that you want to have. Status, crit chance, or armor regen. It does not matter. It does help out, of course, with a crit chance mod. And we also have status effect. Now, like I said, you're not going to be critting a lot, but you will be critting at the same time. It does not matter. We also have a burn resistance mod there too, because we tend to catch on fire by the players that are spamming the Iron Lung. So having a little bit of resistance definitely does help. But if you want to stack crit chance mods everywhere, go for it, man. Like, and with the everyday carrier, of course, this is very important. You need to have this chest plate on. Now, I have tried to run the normal version of Perfectly Efficient, or just Efficient in general. I have tried to utilize the normal version of it. Honestly, when it comes to comparing these talents, yes, they are the exact same, but for some odd reason, that 75% is better than that 50%. I kid you not. Because you're going to consume your kit every single time with 50%. So I advise you guys to run the perfect version of Perfectly Efficient, because it's a 75% chance to not consume your kit. At 50%, that percentage is very low, and you're going to lose your kit every single time. I have tested this out, and it has been the worst situation, because when I need that kit, it is gone. So always have the perfect version. But that is the setup here that we got, guys. We also got the Defender drone, but if you don't use the Defender drone, that's entirely up to you. But the Stinger Hive is definitely important on this build. That way you can proc Wicked. So these are the setups, as you guys can see. Catharsis Mask, 3 pieces of Ligmo, of course, with status effect rolled on each piece. Contractor gloves. Hopefully you guys get lucky to find status effect like I did. Status effect on the knee pads. Status effect on the holster. Status effect on the chest plate. And the mask, of course, the Catharsis. That's the setup that you want to go for. Until then, yo, this is Badger signing out. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one. Be breezy. I'm out.